All right, so get this. We finally cracked that hard drive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the one you sent over jam-packed with those lost Mike's Waffen Facts episodes.
No way.
Yeah, it's like we're opening a time capsule, right? From the early days
Yeah.
before the show
Yeah.
took that dark turn we all know.
Right, right.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Before seasons 2 and 3,
Exactly.
which is, what everyone's familiar with at this point. But
Yeah, for sure. But
what I'm really interested to see is how the show
I know.
and Mike himself, how they changed over time.
It's kind of giving me chills just thinking about it.
Yeah, I think these early episodes might actually hold some clues,
Oh, yeah.
to his recklessness and
Yeah.
obviously his disappearance.
It's a good point. So we're diving into episodes 111, 165, and 197.
Okay.
Just a little snapshot
Right.
of the early days.
Cool.
Episode 111, The Blowgun Berserker, and The Explosive Duck. Now, that's a title.
Oh, yeah?
Definitely classic MWF chaos.
For sure.
But there's this lighthearted feel to it. It is interesting, isn't it?
It is. It's so different from what we know comes later.
It's a huge contrast. It's almost innocent,
Yeah.
watching Mike just testing out this giant blowgun
I know.
and a rigged rubber duck.
It's like he doesn't know what's coming.
Right, but even then you can sense it.
Oh, yeah.
That underlying tension, even in these harmless experiments.
Totally. And let's not forget Schwatten,
Ah, Schwatten, yes.
the mystery man supplying all these crazy weapons
Always lurking in the background.
right from the beginning.
It makes you wonder what he was really up to.
Seriously. Talk about a mysterious character.
Right.
Even in these early episodes, you can feel his presence.
Yeah, it's like he's setting the stage for something bigger.
Okay, but back to that blowgun for a sec.
Okay, yeah.
What really got me was how absurd the whole thing was.
Oh, I know.
They start with regular darts,
Right.
then they try modifying them.
Mm-hmm.
And get this, with industrial strength gummy bears to make them stick here. I'm not kidding. You can practically hear Romanka sighing in the background.
Oh, I bet.
Exasperated.
Yeah. I think that kind of playfulness, though,
Yeah.
it foreshadows Mike's later obsession with pushing boundaries.
That's a good point.
What starts as just wanting to make a sticky dart,
Right.
it turns into this need for more potent experiences, more dangerous experiences.
I hadn't thought about it that way. Those gummy bears,
Yeah.
they're like a symbol of him wanting to control things.
To go beyond the ordinary.
Exactly.
And, even in this episode,
yeah.
you see that disregard for safety.
Oh, absolutely.
The spectacle is more important than common sense.
It becomes a huge part of the show later on.
Definitely.
Remember that rubber duck explosion?
Oh, yeah.
It was more like a fizzle,
Right.
but they loved it.
That dark humor,
Yeah,
that's the hint of what's to come.
for sure. The line between amusement and danger
Yeah.
starts to blur.
It does. It just gets worse from there.
Yeah. Okay, so we've seen the start of Mike's obsession in episode 111.
Right.
But things get really intense in episode 165.
Oh, yeah.
The hypnosis hearing aid and the rocket pack test.
Now that's a title.
I know, right?
That screams escalation.
It totally does.
This is where the core dynamic of the show, I think, really takes shape.
Oh, yeah.
You have Mike. He's impulsive. He's thirsty for the extraordinary. And then there's Rickard egging him on with his conspiracy theories.
And Romanka,
Yeah, poor Romanka.
just trying to keep things under control.
He sounds so weary already at this point.
Totally resigned.
But he knows what's coming.
It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion.
Yes.
You know it's going to be bad, but you can't look away.
Exactly. What did you think about that hypnosis hearing aid?
What was he even trying to do with that?
It's fascinating,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
an early attempt at control.
Oh, interesting.
He wants to use it on Romanka and Rickard to make them do what he wants.
But it doesn't work, right?
It doesn't control them,
No? Okay.
but it does reveal things about them. Romanka admits he wants a beer.
So,
It shows he's not above basic human desire.
right.
And Rickard, he gets even more entrenched in his conspiracies.
Of course.
He thinks the hearing aid is a government tool.
Oh, man. Classic Rickard.
It's like the experiment failed, but it still showed their true selves.
That is so interesting.
Yeah.
But the real scary part of this episode
Yeah.
has to be the rocket pack.
Oh, yeah.
Homemade fuel, who knows what.
Uh-huh.
And he decides to test it inside the studio. I
Inside.
can't even, it's insane. The disregard for safety is unbelievable.
It is a turning point, I think.
Totally.
You see that Mike's desire to push things,
Yeah.
it's taking over. The consequences don't matter anymore.
He just wants that thrill.
Exactly. And that lack of foresight,
Yeah.
that becomes a theme. And it's just chaos. Mike crashing into the ceiling equipment all over the place. Ramonka trying to find a fire extinguisher.
It's crazy.
It is.
Just picture it.
Right.
Mike covered in soot, that crazy look in his eye.
Yeah.
Totally unfazed.
That image really stuck with me.
Me too. It's fascinating, but also terrifying.
It is, to see that obsession taking over like that.
Right, and then we jump to episode 197, the ninja grenade and the mind-expanding mead.
Oh, yeah.
We've gone from gummy bear darts to grenades and home-brewed concoctions.
Things get weird.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It's a whole different level.
The title, The Ninja Grenade, it's almost funny,
Yeah.
but there's that darkness underneath.
You can't ignore it.
In this episode, Mike shifts gears.
Oh, how so?
He's not just focused on physical danger anymore.
Okay.
He wants to explore mental and perceptual stuff.
Interesting.
He's not just pushing his body to the limit.
Right.
He wants to alter reality.
So let's talk about that grenade.
Okay.
Stolen from Gazbold, his supposed father.
It makes you think about their relationship.
It really does. What kind of father gives his son a grenade?
It's like he was almost encouraging Mike's weird interests.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And the fact that Mike blows it up in a dumpster
Uh,
just doesn't care about the consequences.
it shows a total disregard for the rules.
Definitely. And then there's the mead.
Oh, yeah.
This crazy brew he makes.
Who knows what's in it?
It feels like more than just a silly experiment.
It does. He wants to change their consciousness.
To have some kind of out-of-body experience.
Yeah, to break through to something else.
And he makes Rickard and Ramonka drink it too.
He does.
He's not just putting himself at risk anymore.
Right. It's like he's dragging them along with him.
The whole scene is so unsettling.
It is.
They're talking nonsense, getting aggressive.
And
They all pass out
the episode ends with the camera just filming them.
all night long. It's creepy.
It really is. It's like a warning.
It is a turning point for the show, too.
Oh, yeah.
The humor's still there, but there's this feeling of unease.
It's like we're seeing the beginning of Mike's downfall.
His obsession is leading him down a dark path.
It's important to remember these episodes happen before Doza Crew.
That's right, before they really took off.
Yeah, their music, it's like an echo of the show's themes.
It is. It's like two sides of the same coin, reflecting each other.
Descending into darkness together.
The parallels are definitely there.
Right as Mike gets more reckless.
Yeah.
Doza Crew's music gets darker and weirder.
It's like they're feeding off each other.
And those early episodes,
Yeah.
they might seem harmless compared to what comes later.
Yeah.
They hold clues to Mike's transformation.
It's all connected.
Think of it like this episode 111. That's the spark.
Okay.
The beginning of his curiosity. Episode 165, that's the kindling.
The obsession starts to grow.
Exactly. And episode 197, that's the fuel.
Wow. I like that.
He's deliberately trying to change his reality.
And he's manipulating others.
It all builds up to the chaos of season 2.
And Doza Crew's music, it's like the soundtrack to it all.
They're drawn to this like dark star, pulling
Yeah.
them further and further away.
It's scary to think about. So what happened to Mike?
Right.
Season 2 ends with the studio trashed.
Yeah.
No one knows where he is.
Right.
And then there's that creepy video.
The one online?
Yeah, with that metal creature thing.
It's like something out of a nightmare.
It is. Those last episodes of season 2, they're so mysterious.
So many questions.
Did his experiments go too far?
Did he lose control?
Did he become what he was studying?
It's possible.
And don't forget those voicemails.
The ones he left for Ramonka,
Yeah, asking for help, talking about Fentish.
those clicking sounds in the background,
Chilling.
it's like he's trapped somewhere,
Trying to tell us something.
but something's blocking him.
It's so frustrating. Those voicemails, they're like broken pieces.
Have a puzzle.
We can't quite figure out.
Right, and what is Fentish anyway?
Yeah, is it a place, a state of mind, another dimension?
It's a question that hangs over everything,
It really does. And then Ramonka vanishes too.
just like that.
No explanation. No goodbye.
It's like he got sucked into the same thing as Mike.
Do you think he was looking for Mike?
Maybe. Did he find something he wasn't supposed to?
We're left with even more questions.
It's so unsettling.
And then season 3 starts. The new sound engineer.
Stepping in for Ramonka.
And the whole season is even darker.
More unsettling.
Reality and fantasy completely blurred.
And Doza Crew's music.
Oh, yeah.
It's like it knows what's happening.
Predicting the events of the show.
With this eerie
It
accuracy.
chills just thinking about it.
Kairam's arrival changes everything.
He's not just a replacement.
No, he's a catalyst.
Things get so much weirder after he shows up.
almost nightmarish.
Remember those audio glitches?
The whispers, the distorted sounds.
It's like the podcast itself is breaking down.
I don't think those were accidents.
You don't.
No, I think they were messages.
From Chiron.
Yeah, like he's trying to tell us something.
But in a language we don't understand. A secret code.
Maybe a warning.
It's a scary thought.
And then that unreleased Doza Crew album appears.
The one with Mike on the cover?
Calling himself Mateel.
The music is so strange.
Distorted soundscapes, experimental stuff.
And the lyrics.
They hint at a connection between Mike and the band.
Like they've become one.
It's like Mike's a part of their music now.
Or they're a part of him.
Their music isn't just a soundtrack anymore.
Right, it's more than that.
It's like, it's become real.
And that word dot.
Yeah.
It keeps coming up.
In the show.
This insatiable desire.
It seems to control both Mike and Doza Crew.
What is it about Dot that drives them?
To these extremes.
I think Dot represents that primal hunger.
For what?
For knowledge.
For power.
For something beyond our reach.
It's a dangerous pursuit.
It can lead to obsession madness.
Even self-destruction.
So maybe Mike's search for the truth.
His need to uncover the secrets.
It led to his disappearance.
Or maybe his transformation.
Right, like you said before.
We don't know for sure what happened to him.
Maybe he's still out there.
Lost in that digital world.
Vintage.
Whatever that is.
It's unsettling, but also kind of exciting.
This whole deep dive into Mike's Waffen facts.
Yeah.
It's given us more questions than answers.
But we've learned a lot.
About the forces that might have led to his disappearance.
It's a good reminder that curiosity can be dangerous.
The pursuit of knowledge.
It can lead to amazing things.
But it can also lead to darkness.
And sometimes the truth
Is more terrifying than we could ever imagine.
Well, this has been a wild ride.
It has.
We'll be back soon with more internet mysteries.
More deep dives.
More stories behind the podcasts that fascinate us.
Until then.
Stay curious.
But stay vigilant.
The truth is out there.
Waiting to be discovered.